530 global entrepreneurs participate in the Tzu Chi camp in Hualien. We'll learn about ways to get rid of dust mites at home. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin our program today with some news from Taiwan. On March 24th, 530 entrepreneurs from 12 countries gathered at Hualien Jingsi Hall for a Tzu Chi camp for entrepreneurs. Before the camp started, they visited Neihu Tzu Chi recycling station for a precious lesson on environmental protection. After 3 days of classes, they've also returned to Jingsi Abode to learn more about Tzu Chi's history and principles. Let's join them there. 530 entrepreneurs from 12 countries have gathered at Hualien Jingsi Hall for Tzu Chi's camp for entrepreneurs. Mr. Tanaka, who is 102 years old, is an anti-aging expert in Japan. He looks up to Master Zheng Yan, who is known for her love and compassion for all sentient beings.
The master is very thoughtful, as she can think of things I neglect. Although I am over 100 years old, I still need to learn a lot.
An entrepreneur has found the answer she has been looking for.
I have worries in my daily life. After joining Tzu Chi, I've been guided by Jingsi ever since in the Dharma. So I can say that I've returned to find my direction in life.
Before the camp, the entrepreneurs have come to Neihu Tzu Chi recycling station to learn a precious lesson.
We can make good use of a PET bottle.
Making fabric out of recycled PET bottles, the technology has combined the recycling with disaster relief missions. It has also reduced the amount of garbage.
Now I bring my own plastic bags. This plastic bag does not look transparent anymore because I've used it for more than 3 times.
To experience the strength of people working with one heart, they also try some games.
First, we start with ourselves, being someone with love. We care for people around us. Secondly, we can also inspire people around us. For instance, we can invite them to come here and learn to protect our environment.
In addition, the entrepreneurs have also visited Tzu Chi affiliates. A senior entrepreneur also talks about how to lessen one's desires.
When I met Master Zheng Yan, I told her my story. I said, "Master, I am worried. I need 2 sons, but I have 2 daughters instead." The master replied, "It does not matter. It's more important that you educate your children well."
Adopting a vegetarian diet is not a problem. I've adopted a vegetarian diet since 2011. I love Tzu Chi, but I have not yet dedicated myself wholeheartedly. I'm deeply touched by this event.
The entrepreneurs have learned much from the camp. From now on, their lives might become much more fulfilling. After 3 days of classes, all the entrepreneurs have returned to Jingsi Abode. With the explanation of the Dharma masters, they've gained a deeper understanding of Tzu Chi's principles.
I think it is important to pass on the good experience. As long as I'm allowed to do so, I bring my 2 children to all the events. I hope my children will not only become independent, but will also contribute to society, being someone who is kind and happy.
Regardless of their nationalities, all the entrepreneurs interact with one another with love. Master Zheng Yan is also very touched by this.
感动每一位菩萨打从心里呢，那一粒粒的种子啊，都已经萌芽，种子呢已经在心地里撒播了啦。听了都是万般的期待，但愿这一粒粒的种子啦，应该就是一生无量，将来呢，可以造福人间。
The entrepreneurs also seized the time to interact with each other. They look forward to the next Tzu Chi camp so they can invite more people to join the big Tzu Chi family and walk the Bodhisattva path. In the United States, 233 TIMA doctors, nurses, and city volunteers arrived in Fresno, California for a 5-day 2018 TIMA USA convention. Among them is one TIMA doctor from Honduras. They came together to learn, listen, and share ideas as they want to provide more services to people in need.
TIMA members dash along Route 99 to provide free clinics.
If we cooperate, we can serve more people and provide higher medical quality to patients. We do it for the patients, not for ourselves.
TIMA members throughout the United States either came by car or by plane to reach Fresno, California for a 5-day TIMA convention. But some were trapped at the airport due to a snowstorm in the eastern United States. However, they still came despite the difficulty.
今年最主要的目标就是介绍我们医疗人文。
The goal of this year's convention is to introduce our medical culture. We want to tell people that when we examine patients, how we can apply our medical culture.
Most medical volunteers are Chinese, but there are one doctor from Honduras and 2 volunteers who do not understand Chinese. So the seminar is presented in English, allowing them to understand it better. Being passionate, patient, and efficient are the 3 major ways to invite people to join TIMA. If more people can join TIMA, more people will be able to be relieved of their illnesses.
Puerto Rico was struck by Hurricane Maria last September, and a lot of disaster victims have flocked to the United States to seek refuge. Here we take you to see 2 cases. One is a pregnant woman who gave birth with city volunteers' assistance. The other one is a homeless single mother with her daughter having no place to stay before the snowstorm. Let's learn more about how city volunteers gave them a hand.
It's going to be very hard to see if you're out there on the roads. Want to encourage all New Yorkers right now, if you don't need to be out this evening, don't go out.
The snowstorm is coming, but Luz has nowhere to hide.
Rent a room in a hotel. They said they don't have nothing. No more.
She asks help from us because she has only $10 left and has problems to buy food to eat. So we gave her the $400 disaster relief fund and brought her to the hotel to stay.
U.S. Puerto Rico suffered from the hurricane and many people's houses were ruined. Luz brought her 13-year-old daughter to escape to New York, but she can't find a job and her daughter can't go to school here.
I didn't want to bother anybody, but then the last resort that I had was Tzu Chi people. Yes. So they said yes, that they're going to help me and my daughter for 3 days to stay in a place until the storm passes. From there, I don't know where to go.
This newborn baby has traveled with his mother Evelyn in her womb when she escaped from Puerto Rico. Luckily, the government provides many subsidies for the baby born in the U.S.
When she was in her labor, we gave her abundant cares, and we found beds and baby clothes for her. This hotel owner, Mr. Chen, has also provided many helps, and he changed a bigger room for her, as the crib is taking quite a lot of spaces.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Unlike Evelyn and her baby having family to take care of them, single mother Luz and her daughter need to pack up and seek another place to stay with the help of Tzu Chi volunteers. Their future accommodations are still in question.
The Suhua Highway Improvement Project began in 2012, and after 5 years of construction, the section of road from Su'ao to Dong'ao was completed over the recent Lunar New Year. There have been environmental concerns associated with the project, but many people believe that creating a safer road home is in the best interest of everyone. Follow our report as we learn more about this important project.
Residents on the East Coast have a safe road to go home now. The Transport Ministry and other organizations work non-stop and even tunnel through areas with lots of groundwater, which is quite difficult.
The goal of this project wasn't shortening the trip or making the road more direct, but instead using the latest technology to create the safest section of the road possible.
The Bai Mi Bridge is a landmark on the Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project. This provincial highway going through the mountains accompanies railroad track in the Pacific Ocean. It has 4 major bridges and 3 tunnels and covers 9.7 kilometers.
Because of the Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project, Tzu Chi Township will have 2 different roads, meaning the city won't suffer from too much traffic. This makes us much happier due to less congestion.
Before the Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project, many people would be stuck in traffic on the weekends, returning to the Tzu Chi area. On Lunar New Year, the effect was quite noticeable, as there was no traffic in Tzu Chi. Previously, speeds on the Tzu Chi Highway were limited to 60 kilometers an hour, with this trip from Tzu Chi to Dongao being reduced by 20 minutes and daily flow of traffic reaching 6,000 vehicles, but rising to 10,000 during peak holiday traffic. With only one road, this was quite a bottleneck for those seeking to return home. Additionally, this road is open to small trucks, though large trucks and scooters are still prohibited.
The Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project was done for safety reasons and not for speed or increased volume. If it permitted 3 types of vehicles or scooter, then it would be dangerous for the tunnel along with the drivers.
To avoid dangers, the Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project was the first provincial highway to use a smart network, which is reliant upon cameras to see traffic flow and grasp traffic information.
Every 160 meters, there's a surveillance camera. The tunnel stretches for 3.4 kilometers, so we have about 70 cameras, including the escape routes.
While this road is much safer, environmental groups worry about the ecological damage to the Hualien area, after 1 year of work has turned this road into a provincial highway. After the start of work on this project, a number of subcontractors went bankrupt, as work on this section of road was quite difficult and was an immense test for many.
Fortunately, a number of tunnels on the north side of the project could be used as a reference for further construction. Some of the problems that occurred in the old northbound area show us how to avoid problems.
On March 12, from Nanao to Heping section, 2 sites uncovered archaeological relics, leading to the suspension of construction, and according to the Cultural Assets Law, leading to further delays regarding the opening of the road. It was only later that excavation resumed. After opening the Tzu Chi Highway, Taiwan Provincial Highway 9 has been forever changed, as it originally stretched for 474.3 kilometers, though the straightening has left it at 454.3 kilometers, leaving it shorter by 20 kilometers. This means that Provincial Highway 1 on the west coast is now the longest at 461 kilometers.
Now this section of road affected by the Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project is called Provincial Highway 9D, and there is also the original section of road which has been preserved.
The Tzu Chi Highway Improvement Project has been a major challenge and has allowed more traffic to come through more smoothly as we continue to investigate its impact in our next report.
The Worldwide Fund for Nature launched Earth Hour in Sydney, Australia. The activity encouraged the whole city to turn off lights for an hour in 2007. Since then, every hour on the fourth Saturday of March, Taiwan has never missed to join Earth Hour. On top of that, city volunteers in Tzu Chi's in Taichung area have hosted street fairs for 6 years to promote environmental protection.
Taiwan's landmark building, Taipei 101, joined the world to turn off the light for an hour. As soon as the clock hits 8:30 p.m. on March 24th, all the commercial buildings in Xinyi district joined to save energy to decrease the global warming effect.
I hope everyone can turn this activity to a daily act and do one thing that's friendly to our Earth every day.
我们过去12年已经累计的是60万度，而今年1年就有10万度了，显示今年的成效是比往年来得好的。
Stores in the commercial district have all turned off the LED sign and decorative lights. For the past 10 years, Taiwan has joined hands with 187 countries around the world.
In our classroom during lunch, we will turn off the lights as well as when we have classes outside the room.
It's all right in a hospital, but we'll only leave one elevator to operate every night after 10 p.m. because there are fewer people and it's a waste of electricity if every elevator is running.
Other than saving electricity, promoting the ideology of cherish our resources is also a Tzu Chi mission. Tzu Chi volunteers in Tzu Chi's in Taichung area have hosted the street fair for 6 years consecutively. All 50 stands are themed around recycling, and all these pillows are made from recycled shirts and jeans.
This pillow is made from a little girl's dress.
This was a jean and now it has become a bag after we tailored it.
Diminish our desires and try to eat vegetarian diets. We should all do something to be friendly to our Earth by cherishing the resources we have from our daily life.
Since it is very humid in Taiwan, dust mites are almost everywhere. Recently, anti-dust mite vacuum cleaners have become very popular and many parents buy them. However, a doctor says the effect might be limited. Since dust mites move about, even when a machine is placed in one room, if the allergic child runs to another room, he might still get affected. Therefore, the doctor suggests that people clean the dust and lower the humidity at home, in addition to washing and sun-drying their blankets and pillowcases to get rid of dust mites. After buying an anti-dust mite vacuum cleaner, Ms. Pan has been busy vacuuming.
With the air pollution, there is a lot of dust. If I do not vacuum every day, I cannot bear to see the dust.
Since her 2-year-old son is allergic, Ms. Pan is quite worried. After seeing the commercials of an anti-dust mite vacuum cleaner, she immediately bought one.
I must use it. If I do not vacuum, the dust will be very obvious. Look, after vacuuming, the sack is full of dust.
However, do vacuum cleaners really get rid of all the dust mites? The doctor says the effect is limited.
The statistics calculate in labs might be different from what really happens at home. Dust mites move about. If you place a vacuum cleaner in a room, but the allergic child runs to another room, he might still get affected.
A temperature between 20 to 30 degrees and a humidity of 60 to 80% is what dust mites like. Taiwan happens to have such conditions, and therefore dust mites are almost everywhere.
Besides feeding on human hair and skin flakes, dust mites also eat microorganisms such as bacteria.
The doctor suggests that people can use dehumidifier to control the humidity at below 50%.
Try to decrease the dust at home and maintain good air quality. Try not to use carpets. Usually there is less dust mites in a house with wooden floors.
After using the blankets and pillowcases for 2 weeks, wash them in water that is 50 degrees and sun-dry them. In addition, people with allergies can also exercise more to increase their immunity. TIMA members from 5 countries gather in Kampong Chhnam province, Cambodia, to host a free clinic. Despite a crude venue, they turned a conference room into a surgery room so that the general public can undergo surgeries right away.
To
to turn the conference room into a surgery sterile room, volunteers need to cautiously clean and sterilize every single corner in the room many times so that the patient can receive safe surgeries here. It's in here where Van Lee Hawk removes mind debris that has stuck under his eyes for 30 years.
Sometimes I feel pain from my nose to my head, and even blinking hurts. Sometimes one side, sometimes both sides.
The 5-centimeter tumor on Pav Lu's forehead has bothered him for 20 years and is now finally removed after 45 minutes of surgery.
Actually, I don't feel painful, but when my neighbor told me that I can have free surgery here, I just came joyfully.
TIMA members from 5 countries host a 2-day free clinic in a farming village in Cambodia, and they've received more than 1,000 patients every single day. Nonetheless, nobody is impatient at the waiting area as volunteers serve tea as well as teaching healthy exercises to the patients.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
On the farewell party, Tzu Chi volunteers brought everyone to sing aloud cheerfully so that they can leave the best medication for mind, which is happiness, to the local people. Promising each other to meet again next year, the familiar smiles on the villagers' face are the most precious memory of the trip for volunteers and TIMA members.
In July 2016, some serious floods occurred in central China and caused severe damage to many villages. Tzu Chi volunteers have visited many of them over 20 times. Recently, they went again to give rice and cooking oil to 10 agriculture families in Henan province.
Rice and cooking oil are being loaded into the cars. Tzu Chi volunteers are visiting flood victims in Pentan village. Volunteers from Wuhan City have visited them 20 times during the past year.
You've been helping us at all costs. We're very thankful to you from our hearts.
These people are so thankful because in July 2016, Hubei province suffers from serious floods caused by the storms. Many people make their living by agriculture. The disaster causes their lives to be miserable.
这房子啊，你看都漏水，它这样扒拉呀扒，都不能睡。一下雨进来，还一下雨吧，全部都飘。
The volunteers' love continues into 2018. After the Lunar New Year, the volunteers came again with goods.
Volunteers have come 10, 20 times, right? They've worried about us for 2-3 years, so I want to pass their love forwards.
The villagers are very touched, so they vow to get into action.
Tzu Chi Academy in Surrey, Canada, and volunteers have distributed scholarships to some impoverished students. At the occasion, they play games and taught Jingsi aphorisms to the children so they can gain a precious lesson. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.